All right, today we're diving into a really ancient and complete map of the universe. But here's the thing. This map wasn't drawn using telescopes or satellites. Nope. It was built piece by piece, straight from sacred scripture. And that means it creates a cosmos that's filled not just with stars, but with some really profound theological meaning.
So, what did the universe look like before modern science came along? It's a question we kind of think we know the answer to, right? Flat Earths, maybe a giant turtle holding everything up. But the reality, it is so much more diverse and honestly just fascinating. Different cultures had these incredibly complex systems for figuring out their place in the cosmos long, long before we ever had a Hubble telescope.
And it turns out one of the most detailed and, frankly, enduring of these systems comes from the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church. I mean, for centuries, its scholars and saints have been piecing together this comprehensive picture of all of creation, literally from the foundations of the world all the way up to the highest heavens.
All right, so in this explainer, we're going to unpack this incredible map of the universe. We'll look at its structure, its foundation, and the divine order that it represents. And we're going to start with the very ground beneath our feet. Now, here's a really crucial point to get right from the get-go. This is not a scientific model. It's not trying to compete with physics. It's a theological one. Its whole purpose isn't to explain, gravitational pull, but to illustrate God's divine plan and where humanity fits into all of that. Every single piece of it comes directly from Scripture.
Okay, let's start with the Earth itself. How did the Church's teachings describe our world? Well, the answer, it might actually surprise you. Was the Earth believed to be flat or round? This is probably the most common question, right, when we talk about ancient ways of seeing the universe. We've got this popular image of a pre-scientific world that was just totally convinced the Earth was a flat disk. But is that actually what the scriptures suggested?
Turns out, not at all. I mean, sure, some ancient philosophies pictured a flat Earth resting on pillars or even giant animals. But the view that was pulled from the holy books, it was completely different. The scriptures actually describe the Earth as a circle, or round, and it's not resting on anything solid. It's just suspended in the void.
And this verse right here, it just perfectly illustrates the concept. This line from the book of Job is one of several that really informed this understanding. It's poetic, it's profound, and it gives you this vision of a world held in place, not by, physical supports, but by the will of its creator.
So, okay, if that's the Earth, what's above it? This is where this map gets really, really intricate. Let's start climbing the seven heavens and see how this whole thing is built, because it is definitely not just one big empty space. So the key term you got to know here is Semayat. That's the word they use to describe the heavens, but, and this is important, it implies more than one. We're not talking about a single sky, but a whole series of stacked, distinct realms or layers, and each one has its own name, its own purpose, and its own spiritual significance. Specifically, the Church teaches that there are 7 distinct heavens. You can almost think of it like a divine skyscraper, right? Where each floor is its own unique spiritual domain. And the whole thing is built upon this really careful interpretation of different passages from Scripture. And as you can see, the map of the heavens is incredibly detailed. It layers up from Serha Arium, which is the closest realm, all the way up to Semayat, the heaven of heavens. But what's so crucial to understand is that each layer isn't just something they invented. It's anchored to a specific scriptural reference. So for instance, Jerusalem Semayawit, or the heavenly Jerusalem, that's linked to a passage in Galatians. And Menbeta Mengist, the throne of the kingdom, you'll find a reference for that in the book of Isaiah.
And this wasn't just, a casual reading of the text. This whole cosmology is the product of really deep scholarship. The Church's teachers analyzed and compared all these different versions and translations of the Bible to pull out this understanding. They were making absolutely sure that their map of the heavens was firmly rooted in the Holy Word.
All right, let's bring all this together. We've got a round Earth suspended on nothing, and we've got a 7-layered heaven sitting above it. So what is the foundation? What's holding this entire cosmic structure together?
Well, the answer is this number, 81. That's the number of books in the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church's biblical canon. Now, that's a broader collection of texts than many other Christian denominations use, and it is from this complete wellspring of Scripture that this entire detailed vision of the universe is drawn.
So, to recap the crucial points here,
We've got a vision of a round Earth, not a flat one, a world that's founded not on physical pillars, but on divine scripture, a complex, seven-layered heaven where every single realm has a purpose. It all combines to create a universe of just immense theological order and meaning. And really, that's what it all comes down to. This ancient cosmology is so much more than just an arrangement of planets and stars. It's a map of meaning. It organizes the entire cosmos in a way that reflects a divine plan, and it provides a framework for understanding your own place in a creation that was ordered by God.
And that leaves us with a final thought, really. Think about our map of the universe today. You know, the Hubble Deep Field, string theory, the multiverse. That's our map. It's a map of mathematics and physics and observation. And just like this ancient one, it tells a story. So the real question is, what story does our map of the universe tell about us, about what we value and what we believe?